everyone and welcome to the lesson. Today we are practicing doing exercises as if you were at an exam. So today we are looking at listening, reading, use of English and writing. So let's start with listening. You are going to listen to the text and your task is to choose the correct answer to each question. Dr. Hahn says that plastic surgery nowadays is not as popular as it was, is popular with teenagers, is changing. According to Dr. Hahn, today's society places too much importance on appearance, places more emphasis on beauty than before, helps teenagers to have a positive body image. According to Dr. Hahn, the two types of plastic surgery are similar, are different, repair injury. Dr. Hahn believes teens should have cosmetic surgery to cure low self-esteem, if a therapist agrees, for the right reason only. According to Dr. Hahn, patients under the age of 18 need the parents' permission, need a certificate, may have a problem finding a suitable surgeon. Dr. Hahn believes our teenage years are a time to discover who we are, change who we are inside, find out what makes us happy. And according to Dr. Hahn, the decision to have plastic surgery can make us happier, can be supported by a doctor, needs careful consideration. Listening and doing the task.
Listening, page 42.
With us in the studio today is Dr. Edmund Hunt, a very experienced plastic surgeon. He is here to speak about teenagers and plastic surgery. Dr. Hunt, welcome to the programme.
Thank you. Plastic surgery is becoming more and more popular nowadays, and many young people are using it to change the way they look. Of course, body image and physical appearance have always been important to teenagers, but now it seems we live in a society where even more importance is placed on being beautiful. In the media, in advertising, for example, which does nothing to help teenagers, many of whom already have a very poor body image. Now, I would like to make a distinction between the two types of plastic surgery, and I think we need to be clear about this. First, there's what we call reconstructive surgery, which is done to correct defects on the face and body. Examples of this include physical birth defects and injuries like dog bites or burns. This kind of surgery repairs parts of the body. The other type of plastic surgery is called cosmetic. This kind of surgery involves changing a part of the body simply because a person isn't completely satisfied with it. For example, nose jobs or liposuction, the removal of fat from the body. Of course, the well-being of our patients is always our most important concern. There is some concern that the glamorous image of cosmetic surgery as seen on TV can encourage people to change themselves without reason. Teenagers may suffer from low self-esteem, and choosing plastic surgery is not always the answer to their problems. Often talking to a therapist, dieting and exercise are the solution, for example. We must judge each case individually and help people make the right decision. We must also make sure that the individual has finished growing and is mature enough emotionally to cope with the stress of the operation. All potential patients go through a series of interviews, and those under the age of 18 need a parent's signature. It is essential that we talk to parents, as cost is also a main factor. If the patient is suitable, we then help to find a suitable surgeon to perform the operation. He or she must find a certified surgeon, that is to say, one who is qualified to perform the operation well. After all, these operations are expensive, and there is some risk involved. Another word of warning, if I may. No amount of money can buy you happiness. The most expensive cosmetic surgery does not have the power to change who you are inside. A common myth is that we can make people like us more by changing our appearance. Our teenage years are a time of development, of personal discovery. It takes time to understand who you are. Remember, people cannot and should not judge you on your looks alone. If they do, they are not worth knowing. Some would say, on the other hand, that today we have the power to make ourselves happier with our appearance, and we should take that opportunity if we can. Ultimately, the decision to have plastic surgery is a personal choice. If you have any concerns, speak to your parents or your doctor. One thing is certain. You should think carefully before you decide.
Well, let's check. Dr. Hunt says that plastic surgery nowadays is popular with teenagers. According to Dr. Hunt, today's society places more emphasis on beauty than before. According to Dr. Hunt, the two types of plastic surgery are different. Dr. Hunt believes teens should have cosmetic surgery for the right reason only. According to Dr. Hunt, patients under the age of 18 need their parents' permission. Dr. Hunt believes our teenage years are a time to discover who we are. According to Dr. Hunt, the decision to have plastic surgery needs careful consideration. I hope you managed without any problems. Now we are reading the text. Your task is to match the short texts with the headings. Use your book for you to work comfortably. Read the texts and put the titles to them. Unrealistic expectations, relationship ups and downs, feeling the pressure, dealing with bullying, generation gap, fashion conscious, solving problems, meeting the costs. Let's read the texts. 1. Being picked on at school is becoming more and more common, and it has nothing to do with the kind of school you go to. It can happen at schools with both good and bad reputations. The difference lies in law schools deal with the situation. Some schools place a lot of emphasis on finding solutions to the problem, while other schools tend to ignore it and pretend it is not happening. 2. Making and maintaining friendship can be one of the most fulfilling things in your life. It can also be really difficult to do, especially for teenagers who are still not sure about what they are looking for or what they need in a friend. One thing is for certain though. If you form a close friendship with someone, it can be very upsetting if things go wrong. 3. Participants in peer mediation schemes have the opportunity to talk through their conflicts with the help of trained student mediators. Peer mediators do not take sides or blame anyone. They listen to all participants and help them to develop their own solution to the conflict. If you are feeling frustrated or angry with a friend but have not approached them about your feelings, mediation can help. It gives you the opportunity to confront a person you are in conflict with in a non-violent way. 4. More and more teenagers are becoming unhappy with the way they look, especially when they regard tall, thin, beautiful celebrities such as Victoria Beckham as role models. It is very difficult, of course, for teenagers to be happy with their bodies when they feel they have to meet such unattainable standards. 5. Most teenagers would claim that their parents don't understand their needs, while most parents believe that it is impossible for them to get through to their teenage children. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Both sides should try to be more understanding and open to others' ideas and feelings. 6. There are lots of things that teenagers are tempted to buy: CDs, mobile phone top-ups, computer games, etc. But how can they afford all these things? More and more teenagers are getting part-time jobs in order to cover their expenses, and this gives them a feeling of independence. Of course, some teenagers get paid on a regular basis by their parents in return for doing chores around the house. 7. Young people nowadays feel under so much stress that they sometimes find it hard to cope. Exams are a major cause of concern for teenagers because the career they choose depends on the marks they get in their final school examinations. Therefore, teenagers need to learn how to deal with this kind of stress, which will prepare them for other kinds of pressures they will face in later life. Let's have a look. Unrealistic expectations. Text 4. Relationship ups and down. 2. Friendship. Feeling the pressure when we are worried about something. Dealing with bullying. 1. Generation gap. It is text 5. Fashion conscious. We didn't read about fashion in any text, so this statement is odd. Solving problems is text 3. And meeting the costs is the 6th text. I hope you managed with the tasks, and now we can do use of English. Your task is to transform the words using their derivatives. You stop the video and do the task. Well, let's check what you have got. Tverskaya Ulitsa, Moscow's main street, has seen many changes over the years. About 300 years ago, it was a narrow street where you would find beautiful buildings with great architecture and the residence of the rich. In the 20th century, the government decided to widen the street, and long queues outside state-run shops were a common sight. Today it is still known as one of the capital's most expensive residential districts, but it is also a hub of entertainments, with clubs, cafes, restaurants, and designers' boutiques. Since 1990, the Statue of Liberty figure Pushkin in nearby Pushkinskaya Square has stood alongside the American fast food restaurant McDonald's. However, there is a price to pay for all this development. The quiet areas around Tverskaya could be under threat due to the constructing or construction you can use of new shopping centers. I think you managed with the task. Now, your homework. You are to write a letter to your pen friend. You are to tell her about the anti-bullying week at school and ask 3 questions about the party she mentioned in the letter. So you said you've just had an anti-bullying week at school. How did it go? What did it involve? I'd better go now. I'm going to a party tonight to celebrate the end of exams. So you are to write between 140 words and send me to check. For today, that's all. Goodbye and good luck.